Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We want to welcome you to this week's show. I'm your man, Mark.
Hey everybody, I am Tiana. How are you? Hope all is well.
And we want to welcome you to the Tiana Griffin Show.
Whatever, you always doing it. No, this is a he say, she say show.
Listen, a little more, in a little bit of time, you guys will understand why I called it the Tiana Griffin Show, because today's subject matter is strictly driven by the lovely Miss Tiana Griffin. So before we get into that, I want to ask Tiana, first of all, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you. Thanks for asking.
How did you survive in the heat today? It was hot as hell.
I avoided it.
Oh, okay.
That's how I survived. Because I don't know if you know, milk chocolate melts in your mouth, not in your hand. So it's not a good idea for something like me to be, to go outside and melt. Because I'm black, I conduct heat. You see what I'm saying?
Heat.
Yeah. So anywhere I go, heat follows me.
Radiate energy.
Yes, definitely. Okay. So has anything interesting happened in your life in the last 7 days since we've seen each other?
7 days. I started a new job.
In the last week, since the last?
I have.
Congratulations.
I'm working way out West Hill.
West Hill.
West Hill.
Be thankful for that then.
I am though. Traffic in the DMV is horrible, and I think most of us have experienced traffic in the DMV.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, I'm blessed.
You're blessed.
I'm blessed.
And I'm very happy that you made it here today so that you can have the best part of your week with you sitting next to me. What we're going to do, we're going to start the show. And before we did that last week, it was brought to my attention by more than one person.
Okay.
Tiana made a statement.
Lord.
In the midst of our banter.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't qualify it at all, probably because I was too busy trying to retort. And people wanted to hear her explanation as to her saying people no longer get married for love.
I did say that, but I believe I could have said that out of just talking ish. So Mark and I talked about this a few days ago, and he asked me the question. He actually told me this a couple days ago, and I actually sat and I thought about it, and I actually don't believe people no longer get married for love anymore. I don't think people ever really got married for love. I think people get married for all sorts of reasons, but I don't think it's driven or motivated by love. Some people, but the majority, I don't think it is.
So basically what you're saying is when you said it last week, you didn't believe it. But yet, as we go back and forth, which I'm pretty sure today, there'll be a banter back and forth. You expect me to believe anything else you choose to say tonight?
When I said it last week and I was like, people don't get married for love anymore, I probably shouldn't have said the anymore part. I probably should have left that.
What should you have said?
People don't get married for love.
Okay. People being...
Or I don't know if people get married for love.
This is interesting. So that kind of sets us up nicely into what today's show is about. Mm-hmm. In typical... I'm not going to go as far as to place this on women. In typical Tiana fashion, it wasn't enough for us to address the women and why they were single last week. What she wants to do this week is to pose the question toward men, because with Tiana and a lot of women, things are tit for tat.
It's not tit for tat, but we're not.
Why are we doing it then?
We're not in this alone.
Okay.
This is a partnership.
This will be fun anyway.
Yeah. So because we're not living on this earth by ourselves.
Just to satisfy your wants, we're gonna go and look at why
you want to satisfy my wants, though.
I should not have worded it that way. But just to play along and have fun tonight.
Right.
We're gonna talk about what makes or why do men wait? Is that how you want to word it? How we learn this?
No. How and when do men decide to settle down?
Okay, you hear that, ladies and gentlemen, especially men. We're gonna want some feedback from you guys.
And when do men decide when to settle down? How do you choose? How do you pick your woman? When is it an age thing? Is it just what happens in your life? Like, why? What are the reasons for choosing the woman that you chose at that moment? And you done dated millions of women. Why her? Like for me as a woman, like why me?
Okay.
I have a lot of questions.
You do have a lot of questions. That's good.
Too.
You're curious. But I don't. My question would be, what do you help to gain from this?
That's because I'm a single woman.
Do you think women are interested in this?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just curious. I don't know.
Absolutely.
I'm curious.
Also, not only that, I think that I've been asking this question to quite a few men that I know, and no one can really give me a clear answer.
Right.
It's always
it's a mystery, right?
I don't. It is. I think every man is different.
Yeah. Oh, you're starting to realize that.
Whatever. I've always known.
Oh,
that.
Hey, listen.
I've never grouped men in the
This
same.
is what clinical psychologists would term as a breakthrough.
Whatever.
You finally realize that all men are different.
I've never dated the same type of man ever.
Oh yeah?
Never ever. Every man that I've dated, I've treated him
like a man, hopefully.
As he is. You know what I mean? Whoever he is, I treated him, you know, how he wanted to be treated.
So you like variety?
Apparently.
Okay.
Well, I just don't have
Can't wait to see the next one.
A cut mold.
Cookie cutter?
Yeah,
you don't have a cookie cutter mold.
Yeah, of how
that makes you different than a lot of women in that way, for sure. For sure, because I maintain.
How he treats me, and then every man that treats me good doesn't look the same, will act the same, will live the same.
That's all it takes.
What to make me feel good?
That's all it takes.
What else would it
to date you? No, I'm just asking.
I need to be. I mean, no. Of course, it's not all it takes. There's a whole bunch of non-negotiables. There's a whole bunch of things that I can't.
So you have a contract?
I don't have a contract, Mark. I have feelings.
Yes, we know that. That would make you a woman.
I don't have a contract, but I have feelings.
When we come back, we're gonna delve right into this, and Tiana is going to, and Tiana is going to start it off by aiming with these questions, or
are you
make her statements.
Answer them though?
Is that what I'm here to do? I can answer as best as I can, but as you,
I enjoy your input.
I can answer as best as I can, but as you just said, every man is different.
Right.
So I'm gonna operate from my universe and from what I know. So in a few minutes, when we come back, the show really I got start then.
Whatever.
And we're back. And just so you know, Tiana decided to make this a show especially for the lovers. So ladies, you're gonna get the answer to all your questions tonight. Whether or not they're good answers, that's up to y'all. But Tiana's gonna make it eventful for y'all, I'm sure. So go ahead, Tiana.
So I've actually been asking this question a lot to guys that I know, both married and single. Mainly from the men who are single, and I've asked them what drives you to choose the woman that you want to settle down with. And when I say settle down, I don't mean shack up. I don't mean just be girlfriend. We way too. Like I made a comment the other day. I said that I'm too old to be a girlfriend. I really, really do feel that way. I feel that way. So when I say settle down,
how old are you again?
We're not gonna keep talking about my age. So when I say settle down, I mean actually prepare and get married. I feel like at my age, when you're in your 30s, you're either single.
You're gonna keep referencing your age, but not give your age, though. That's how it's gonna work.
In your 30s, you're either single or you're married.
Okay.
I do believe that.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other ladies believe that? Oh, go ahead.
I don't know. Let's see.
No. We're not waiting on them. Go ahead.
Wait on them?
Go ahead. You're driving this. Go ahead.
I'm curious because that's how I feel. That's actually how I feel. The whole commitment thing, I don't think people stay committed.
Stay committed after 30 or?
Truly committed when you're just in a boyfriend-girlfriend situation.
Why? Because you think they have an out? Each person has an out?
You do have an out. I do. I think there is an out when you're just dating because technically you're still dating. Right. There's nothing that binds you. You don't have a marriage contract. You don't have a marriage contract. You don't have anything. You didn't go before the Lord and get married. Like there's no spirit. There's nothing connecting you other than the fact that you're dating and just probably shacking up. So my thing is, how do you get from point A to point B?
This is an instruction video?
Huh?
You want to make this an instructional video?
I
How to
just
get from
wanna
point A to
know.
point B?
No, I just
I
wanna
think it
know.
varies,
I just
though. I mean,
based on what?
it varies on the person.
I agree with
Number
that.
one.
I agree with that.
But if you're asking, okay, look, I'm gonna have to use me as an example. The things that would work for me wouldn't necessarily work for another person.
I agree with that.
So, and a lot of that, looking back, has to do with my family structure.
Okay.
So in my family, the women don't give too much talk. They figure out another way. I've never seen my mother and father argue. Ever, ever, ever. And they did have some. So I cannot take an argumentative woman. I won't. It won't happen.
So because you touched, that was like the very first thing that you
First
touched
thing.
on.
Yeah.
That's you hate, not hate. You can't tolerate a woman who talks back.
No, talking back is a
an
conversation.
opinion.
Everyone has an opinion, man. Listen, we're
But
not going to lean on that opinion.
Okay, but what makes a woman argumentative?
If I tell you it's hot outside, which it is, and you tell me, no, it's not. It ain't that hot. That's argumentative.
But what if she
at some point, like the back and forth gets stupid.
It's only a back and forth if you respond.
If who responds?
You. So if you say it's hot outside and I say no, it's not, what makes it a back and forth is when you responded. Because I don't feel like it's hot. So you turned it into an argument.
Wait, hold on. Okay. I used today as an example.
That's fine.
You didn't think it was hot today?
But I didn't have no choice but to be in it today.
It's an undisputed fact. That's argumentative.
But I had to be in it today, so...
Anytime you say, well, actually, or not necessarily, prior to, I feel like you're looking for... Well, anyway, we can move on. We can move on beyond that, because you're going to nitpick.
You're
going to try to make every...
point about the argument.
What's your point?
No, because I don't think
Were you making one?
argumentative. I think you're argumentative. Because my thing is, if you make a statement and then I make a statement, that's what it is. That's how I feel. That's how you feel. But if you come back a third time, to me, that starts the argument.
How does it?
Because
so you coming back?
Because you don't want to agree with what I feel.
I don't have a problem agreeing with what she feels.
Apparently so. If you say no,
but when we're talking facts, feelings should be excluded, right?
The fact is, the temperature. The temperature is the fact. How she feels is not a fact.
Okay, I think we're getting hung up on something. I'm gonna give you some other examples, right? Anybody who knows me, but yeah, we're getting off track. It's a little bit of a diversion. Anyone who knows me knows I will profess loud and proud that a woman must cook for me. And I actually would like you to do it with a smile on your face. Is that too much to ask?
No.
And a lot of guys that I know don't require that at all. They don't think it's a big deal.
If the woman feels like it's work to cook for her man or her husband or whoever, whatever you want to call them, that's a problem. I agree with that.
I'm talking about every day, though.
No one, first of all, that's not realistic. If she has a job, it's not realistic for her to be able to cook every day.
Why is it not realistic if she has a job? We went through this last week. Okay. I'm gonna end up not being a good example because of who my partner is on this show.
But you brought it up.
Look, why don't you ask me questions and then I can respond because
let's use me as an example.
What is your example?
I get off anywhere from 4:30 to 5.
Right.
But it takes me almost 2 hours to get home because of traffic.
Okay.
So
that's bad.
That's bad.
And
so when I'm coming in the house 6:30, 7 o'clock at night from working all day and traffic, I'm not going to be the happiest person in the world. And it's not. And I would give you your space. I don't even need space. I might just not need to goddamn cook.
Well, cooking should make you happy.
No, cooking will make you happy.
Which should make you happy. You're proving your worth.
I'm not proving my worth.
You're coming in the house and you're cooking. You should be. You shouldn't let the work world beat you down like that. You should come in the house whistling, happy that you got a man.
So apparently,
put on your apron.
So on Mark's list of important things,
and the list isn't that long.
Requires from a woman, cooking is clearly at the top of that.
Yeah, and I got that from my father.
Okay.
And he was adamant. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why he told me. He said, when life gets hard, And trust me, it will. I don't care what you make or whatever happens, it will. I can buy a 5-pound bag of rice, and your mother will make sure we have food every night.
Okay.
Okay? So after 2 hours of you driving in traffic in 105-degree heat and no air conditioning, you walk through the door, I kiss you, say, hey, baby, what's for dinner? You have 36 minutes to make it because I don't like to eat after 8 o'clock either.
Oh, my God.
I try not to. I make that. And I'm actually making a joke, but I'm not, though. As far as the time frame, but yeah.
It is the woman who is or will be connected to you. That's a special woman. There are women that are built for you. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of women out there like that. I'm definitely not one of them. Because what I hear is inconsideration.
Where do you hear the inconsideration?
Because you didn't even ask her how her day was before you wanted her to go in the kitchen and cook.
That's gonna keep her away from cooking. When she starts telling me how her day went, why do we want a diversion on that? We can talk over dinner, right? This isn't gonna help anybody. What we're doing here is not gonna help anybody. Let's really ask some questions. Okay, so look, since Tiana wants to go this route, okay. Ladies, I do feel for you on this, right? It takes a lot, but there's no absolutes in this. And I think that's oftentimes, and I don't want to turn this to women, I think that's what women are looking for oftentimes. And yet, women navigate through life every day knowing that they're not looking for absolutes in any other area. I mean, there's really no way you can know. But when you get beyond 30, the age range that you're using, there gets to be a point in time when you should be able to see past some of the bullshit that guys have, right?
I agree.
And if you like a guy, hopefully not like, because if you talking about settle down and marry, if you love a guy, you might have to wait in his timetable. And then that's a gamble too, right?
It's definitely a gamble.
Because there's no guarantees, like we talked about as far as the relationship goes, boyfriend and girlfriend. And maybe he never marries you.
But that happens more often than not, though.
What?
So my thing is, how do you know? Because I think not every woman, but most women have experienced I'm not the one he wants. Okay, even the women who are married now, there has been a man that come into their lives that she wasn't the one that he wanted. So I think we've all experienced that,
right?
Especially in our 30s and 40s,
right?
So my question is, how do you get past not being the woman that he wants and actually knowing which man is right for you? So to me, it's a two-part question. So I need to know which man is right for me and how.
Okay.
So how do you settle down?
You want to know how you settle down?
How do you settle down?
Okay, this is good because
what definitely. What do I need to do to get married?
What do you need to do to get married? Mm-hmm. That is an entirely different show.
If
we want now, this is the Tiana Griffin show today, so we could personalize it, and I could tell you some things you could do to get married. But right now we're gonna take a break, and when I come back, I'm gonna address what I think some of the issues are as to why men take so long to make that decision, and we're gonna give you guys the phone number. You guys can call in, and as a matter of fact, specifically, I would like if you guys would do this for me because I'm only one man. If some guys could actually call in and tell Tiana what she needs to do in order to get married.
The question?
Yeah, please.
How and when do men decide when to get married?
Okay, you got that, fellas? And women, we're welcoming. We are welcoming your input on this because I don't know. This is the truth.
Especially married women. Like, how do you feel your husband chose you?
This is what's happening up here. I don't feel I'm the best representation for men as a whole because I can't speak for them. And as you guys can see, Tiana's not the best for women. So when we come back, we'll really hit it hard with my list and of things and reasons why, and they're all a bunch of external factors that women can't control. So. We're back.
Hey guys. So we're actually going to go in a different direction that we were going to initially go in before the commercial. And we're actually going to pull a couple of comments from Facebook. And one of the comments that I would like Mark to address is Jaja Sweet Cheeks. She actually stated that, but even if you have a woman who cooks and is not argumentative, doesn't mean you are going to settle down with her if he don't want to.
Yeah, if he don't want to, he won't.
So when you said that you didn't want a woman that's argumentative, what if you're not argumentative? What if you cook every day? What makes that woman marriage material? She don't argue. She cooks
Well,
every
listen,
day.
there's no guarantees. We discussed that before, but at least in my eyes, it causes me to consider her seriously, right?
Okay.
And that's all you should. That's all y'all want most of the time. At least that's what you say you want, to be taken seriously. I have to consider her, right?
So men have a checklist. You
I
have a checklist.
I mean, I do.
You have a
I
checklist.
I did have a checklist. I no longer have a checklist.
Okay, so
But yeah, go ahead. Finish your
no,
statement.
go ahead.
Now I wanted to get because while they were away, we did get a phone caller, and I
Oh,
wanted to pass them in.
thank you.
Right now we got Vaughn on the phone. What up, Big Vaughn?
Hey, Vaughn.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on?
Nothing much, man. So what's up?
Man, I just looking at the show. Both of y'all salute. Y'all doing a great job. Keep up all the good work. It's funny because I just wrote a Facebook post about this, and you know, the thing is with relationships is what people forget is that everything isn't going to be perfect. You're not going to agree on everything. Relationship is compromise. You have to find a middle balance to everything. You might have strong opinions one way. Your woman might have strong opinions one way. That's what the relationship is about. The journey to find a balance in between both worlds. So first and foremost, if you don't know what you want, if you don't know who you are, first and foremost, if you don't have a connection with God, if there's a lot of verticals about people not knowing what they want. Secondly, you got to know what you need. People keep looking for what they want instead of what they need. Yeah, do I want a woman can cook? Sure, we all do. Do I need a woman can cook? No, I can cook myself. If she works, Tiana says she works 2 hours to get home. I can prepare a meal on those days. We can work in the middle. So my thing is, with people, and I see this every day, we so hung up on what we want. That's what the relationship is about. It's about finding a spiritual connection with the person, chemistry, committed to a journey. It's a process. The relationship won't be perfect. It's a process. And the thing is, you got to be willing to compromise. If you're argumentative and your person's argumentative, you're already lost because got both trying to be heard. Relationship ain't about both sides being heard. It's about can we hear each other and can we meet in the middle. So that's my thoughts on why people go wrong in relationships.
As far as not being able to settle down.
Yeah, you can't. How you gonna settle down when you don't know what you want? If you mentioned something about why people aren't getting married, right? People aren't getting married because they're looking for things. Like I said, they're looking for things that they want in a person.
Well, actually, I wanted to know if people still got married for love, or if people get married for love. Is that a fact?
Yeah, but love isn't the only way. Love isn't everything. Love is a major part of a relationship, but love isn't everything. So, like I said, it goes to so many different levels. Depending on what you value most in a relationship, trust, love, commitment, all of those things. It depends. Like I said, once you know what you want, finding a person becomes easier what you need. A person that you find becomes easier because you got your checklist. This is what I need. This is what I need. Here's the checklist. I need a woman who's going to love me unconditionally. A woman who will care about me. A woman who has my best interest in mind. Once you figure that out, that part of it out. But
that's an and cook. You left that out.
He keep talking about cooking, Mom.
Anyway,
Mark, so let me ask you this question, Mark.
Yeah, before I go.
I enjoy you. I enjoy your back and forth with females. But
yes, sir.
You want a woman that can cook, right?
Yes.
That's on your checklist.
Yes.
Are you going to be that person to fulfill every need that a woman has?
I would try to. Yeah, why not?
You're going to try to, right? You said try. She's going to try to, but guess what? She's not going to be able to fulfill all those needs for you.
Okay.
So my thing is with you are you going to meet her in the middle somewhere and say, okay, babe.
Okay. Well, we got to wrap up the call. Thank you, Vaughn. I'm gonna address it right after, right as we hang up.
I'm gonna listen to you outline.
Yes, please listen because I'm about to address you specifically right now.
I hope you do.
That's a good yes, Vaughn. I'm going to. Well, not going to. I do. I meet in the middle. Well, no, I don't meet in the middle because I don't compromise with women. And This may sound shocking, but I don't believe in compromising with women. If I had more space, I would show you my compromise diagram, because I do have one to explain why I don't compromise with women. To best give you the imagery of me compromising, the reason why I don't compromise is it's not that much stuff means that much to me. So a lot of stuff means a lot to women. So 90% of stuff they're going to get. But my 10% is a hard 10%. But if we were to take this table that's right here in front of us and split it in half, 50%. Let's use the example of TV. This is why I don't compromise. I got a caller coming in, but they're about to, we got another caller, so I'm going to answer the phone, and they're about to mess up this diagram that I got going on. Hello, caller, what say you? I have a diagram going, though, but...
You know I wasn't going to call in, but I got a strong opinion on this.
You do?
Men. Of course I do.
You do?
Who are we speaking to?
Who is it?
This would be Jossie from last week.
Yes, Jossie. My friend.
I am wonderful.
Before you do that, you because you're not gonna interrupt my steam. I'm giving you this. I'm about to give this compromise diagram. Okay, so you and your woman, girlfriend, wife, whatever you call her, you're gonna use TV as an example. There's 7 days a week. You say Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you watch what you want. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, I watch what I want. On Sundays, we negotiate. That sounds well and good, but to a woman, that's not exactly good enough because she got to nibble at your compromise, right? So all of a sudden, one day on Tuesday, on Thursday, let's use Thursday. What's that show that Carrie, what's her name is on? Carrie Washington. Scandal. Scandal's on. Baby, don't you want to watch Scandal? No, actually, I don't want to watch Scandal. The Redskins are playing right now. You don't want to watch that, so you give in to that. And all of a sudden, she going to nibble at you Tuesday night, too. Until you don't have anything, you be backed in the corner. So if you start off at 50%, hold on. That's how y'all do. Nothing's good enough.
That's not
Nothing's good. Look, a compromise ain't no win.
That's not.
Y'all got to win.
Women do. That's not.
You got to win. That's why I don't care that much. You watch whatever you want. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating.
If you tell me that you want to watch your games, your football, your this, your that, or whatever, I'm going to let you watch it. But the compromise is when I want to watch something, will you watch it with me?
I don't want to watch it with you.
Then okay. See, for me, guess what? I'm gonna say bye because I'm 9 times.
You can watch it by yourself.
More than one TV in the house,
right?
So I don't need all of that.
Yeah, but you like to go back and forth. We see. So Jocelyn, you're calling in with your strong opinion this week. What is that?
It's more about not necessarily what makes the relationship work or not. It's more about what my opinion is to why guys want to settle down later in life than women, or why guys do and don't settle down. Like I wrote before, I think in their 20s. Guys are at women's leisure. Guys date whoever takes them, whoever says yes to them at that point in their 20s. Any chick that's like, okay, yeah, we can go out, yeah, you can come over. That's what it is in our 20s. In the 30s, guys are getting to a place where they're financially stable. They're kind of matured a little bit. They've done a little whatever. They're kind of starting to see what they want. So now they have an opinion for what they want. By later then, though, they now want to be financially secure for the woman that they do want. And women, we're taught at 5 that we have to be a bride. So we're ready to get married at 21. So by the time we're 30, we're bitter that we're not married. But guys are just getting to that place at 30 that they're not married. That they're ready to be married. So it's going to be a clash because we're just two different places in life all the time. College life, women whore out, guys whore out in college. But a woman is still like, I want to get married. A guy is like, no, I want to go meet more women because college life was wonderful. So I just think guys, basically we've always heard it, guys mature slower than women. And it goes all the way through life. It goes to when you're ready to have kids, when you're ready to get married, when you're ready to buy your first home. How many females do you know that bought their first house in their 20s and guys are now buying their houses at 40?
And the reason why is so they can have guys come over and have sex.
You can get an apartment for that.
That's what y'all want. Y'all want to have sex. You want to have sex. You can't have sex in nobody else's house. But yeah.
So until the woman is like, okay, I'm 35 and I'm cool that I'm not married, because we're not accepting the fact that we're not married a lot of times. We're so busy looking to get married, we're not accepting the fact that we're not married. So we're angry that we're not married when the guy is literally just getting to a place where he's ready to even date someone seriously.
You know what? And I love your opinions, Jocelyn.
I like your
and I would love to have you talk more, but thank you.
I gotta go.
Yes, yeah, you gotta go. Because you just primed the pump, boy. I'm ready to go now. I got a list here that you just segued me so nicely to.
Okay, bye.
Anyway,
bye.
please call again.
Bye.
All right. Okay, so Tiana, you have something you want to say? Because I'm about to roll into this list that I got.
To the ending point of what I wanted to kind of connect to what Jocelyn was saying, the fact that because we're talking about in our 30s and our 40s right now, we're talking about we're almost close to a half a century old. When you put it like that, I know, right? Why would you do that? I'm sorry, that's the hard truth. Okay, all right. That's the hard truth. Okay, go ahead. There's gonna be some hard truth coming later, but go ahead. Whatever. That's the hard truth. So I guess people have already lived certain type of lives before you even decide to be married. People have children way before marriage. People have gone through so many other things. Because those things you can do almost by yourself. Or you didn't have, but sometimes you don't have a choice but to do them by yourself. I mean, it is what it is. You was born alone. You're going to live alone. I mean, it is what it is. You know, sounds sad. It's Yo, just judging by the sound effects, it sounds like it hurt. Anyway, your point. Look, here it goes, ladies. Now she just introduced the hard truth part. Like I said, I can't answer for everybody, but there's some things that I think are generic. First thing, and this is the hardest truth, and for those of you who are in this age range that Tiana speaks about so glowingly, 31 to 39, the demographic. One thing you must realize is it's a man's world. Number one, the sooner you accept that, a lot of things become a lot easier. Which is why the world is destroyed and falling apart. I understand that, but hear me out. Now, it's a man's world, so the one thing that we have that you want is the question. We have the question. It's ours. You cannot take it from us, even though nowadays they're trying to take it. I agree. You got people that's trying to, but if any man listening out there, if a woman try to take your birthright, because that's what that question is, you have to be willing to die for that. Because if she asks you to get married and you say yes, it's gonna be a whole lot of role reversals in that relationship. You're setting the standard for that. So you don't think a woman should ever ask a man for his hand in marriage? Did you just say men ain't ready? Why would you want a guy? First of all, I don't think a woman should ever pressure a guy to get married either. I agree with that. It makes absolutely no sense to get a guy to have someone married before they're ready. You're just asking to have a bad husband. I agree with that. So you don't agree with women asking for a man's hand? I don't agree with ultimatums. I don't do ultimatums. Just because I asked you to marry me doesn't make it an ultimatum. Why do you feel like just because why are you asking me to marry you? Because I want to get married. That sounds bad. That sounds like there's a whole lot of other issues. Why? Just it's backwards. Okay, we got another caller. This list is gonna just get pushed further and further down. Hey, who's this?
It's Danny.
Danny, what's up, man?
What's up?
You sound like you got something to say, brother. Go ahead, speak your mind.
Okay. Excuse me. Everything that everybody's been saying is actually true. And what I've been hearing from Tiana and Mark, you guys have valid points. Now, coming from a man that's been married and has lived that wild style lifestyle and seeing crazy things and experiencing, a man will choose a woman that he actually loves. Women do not understand. Men actually love harder than women. Because if a man takes his time and find that right one and give her everything, you don't have to worry about if the man will come home and cook, clean, do whatever, because he's going to be taking care of home. It's just the Dave Hollis all together. He's going to take care of home.
Then let me ask you this question. So when you say a man settle down, he will settle down with a woman that he actually loves. What does that mean? Like how, when you find
you don't know what love means?
No, because I think for every man it's different. I really think it's different.
Okay.
So when you say a woman that you really love, what was it about her that made you feel love? Like what was it? What is it?
The woman becomes your best friend. The woman becomes your best friend. Listen. The woman becomes your doctor,
your banker, your best friend, your lover, everything, all together. You see what I'm saying? And it goes the same thing for a woman. Now, with women, you guys love emotion. You guys show your emotions. Men have been taught not to show their emotions whatsoever. But once that man finds a woman, he breaks it down and he actually shows that emotion. That's a very strong. It's very, very strong.
True that.
Now,
and if she ever betrays
Mark,
it,
Mark,
you jumping in that Bronco. Go ahead.
Yeah. OJ jumping in the Bronco.
No bullshit.
Now check this out.
That's why people come up missing.
Mark, when you talking about you don't compromise or whatever.
Yeah, I don't.
You rather have your significant other go in cook dinner or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
How about this? This is something that make it easy on everybody. Sit in the kitchen while she cooks. So do whatever. Your dinner's getting cooked. You find out what's going on with your day, her day. She find out what's going on with yours, and then you call it a night.
Yeah, of course, I was slightly exaggerating, but yeah, you're right. I got. I'm exaggerating, but I'm being honest too, though.
The bottom line is tonight she's still sitting in the kitchen.
Anyway, Danny, thank you for calling, sir.
All right, no doubt.
So let me get to this thing. I got to speed this up. So, okay, I said it's a man's world. We have the question. It sucks for you guys, but that's just the way, that's the leverage that we have, and we're going to play it out as we get older. If we don't use it early, we have to be playing out, as leverage. Now, men marry who they want, and women marry who will marry them. Jocelyn touched on it. That's kind of how it is. Because as men, we do know the one thing that we're, like our freedom means a lot. So when you are blessed with a man, as the definition of manhood, not definition, one thing that the number one sign of manhood is a penis. We have a free agent penis. So in order for us to give up the free agency, we have to find a nice, safe spot to land. Someplace that we want to call home. And we're not going to just give that up off of because you want to get married. Another issue is lack of wife material. There's not a whole lot of wife material. Let's face it, a lot of women are dazed and confused.
I completely disagree with that. I completely disagree.
Well, go ahead, state your
because we talked about last week that the ratio
of what?
Of women versus men, how many available women versus available men was that there's more available women.
There's more available women.
If there's more available women, how is all of the available women, all of them are lacking marriage material?
I didn't say all. There's no all in there. I said lack of wife material.
There has to no. I think
if you find someone like we do this all the time, you'll meet a girl and you'll say she's wife material, and if you're not in that space, you might leave her alone, or you put her to the side for a while. You continue to play. You continue to check on.
I know for a fact that I'm wife material.
Okay, but every wife material is different too.
That's what I was about to say.
It's different.
Every man that I've dated, I consider husband material.
Right.
Whether or not
your dating so fun. Your dating life sounds so boring.
Whether he's the husband for me is a whole nother question. But
right.
I only date men who qualify as husbands. I only
qualified.
Yes, qualified.
So how do you do this? Please take me through the qualification process.
Qualifications meaning whatever it is that you have to offer, who you are as a man. I accept it. I love it. I like it. I'm with it. That's all I mean by
that's all it
takes. I can get into detail what the qualifications are, but that's too much.
Save your details.
But what I'm saying is, if they qualify for all of my needs, then yes, I truly.
Okay, what are your needs? Let's get to this.
No, we're not talking about my needs. We'll talk about my needs.
All right. But this is the Tiana Griffin Show. I just want to remind you guys, ladies and gentlemen.
So what is wifey material?
Okay. Let's go back to the wifey material thing. It's a lot of different things for a lot of different people, but you know it when you see it. Like you do.
So you can't name it. You can't actually.
If it was that easy, but you see it. You see, like you'll put your eyes on it and be like, yeah. Like guys know, ladies, guys know. We the same way you know within 5 minutes will you have sex. We know who we're going to marry. It doesn't take us long. It may not be 5 minutes, but we know.
So how long does it take you to let her know that she's wifey material, or she's the woman? Let me take that back.
Let her know,
or put her in a position to know that you're going to marry her.
I don't know that. You're looking for these time things. It's not like these aren't the stages of a newborn. Like everyone's time frame is different. But normally there'll be a change in that man. So if he's not in the place like Jocelyn had touched upon, if he's not in that place, he will all of a sudden take a look within himself and say, I got to do some things. I got to prepare a place where we can come together. I mean, it wouldn't be hard. It might be hard for you to see on the outside because you might not have known that person before, but his friends, family will definitely be able to say. Now, next, this is the big thing. This is a big thing. Fear. Us men suffer from this. Women suffer from it really, really, really bad, which is partly why Tiana's saying people don't marry for love anymore. And I can kind of understand why she feels that way, because their fear of being hurt so bad, they'd rather marry for other reasons.
I have a fear, but not for hurt.
Okay. Well, us guys, we have a fear of missing out.
I have a fear of making the wrong decision.
Okay, that's the same problem a lot of us have. So it also becomes a familiar thing. It's a cycle, because if you've seen close to you a lot of relationships fail, that fear intensifies 1,000 times.
I completely agree.
So nobody wants to get it wrong and have to pick up and start all over again. But the beautiful thing with a lot of guys is if you get it wrong and you decide to pick up and get all over again, we will start from zero just to be happy. Just to be happy, because it's that bad to live with a miserable woman. Next, an increasing lack of emphasis on family and more emphasis on individuality. That's what we're going to.
Yes.
Men and women. Everybody's saying they can do it. They don't need whatever. You don't need it. You hear, I don't need a man, which is good.
I've never said that in my life.
All right, Tiana. We're talking about women in general.
Because I don't
believe
women in general saying that. I think y'all listen to those few silly ass females that actually got your attention. No, right, but they got your attention, so that's all you hear.
They don't have
You're
my
not
attention.
listening to the quiet women who really not saying a whole lot, because they are the ones that truly matter. You listen to the loud mouths that's talking shit that don't mean shit. Those are the ones you listening to. So of course,
are you talking to me?
Yes, you, because that's what you spoke on.
Okay, all right. Anyway. Timing, and this is the biggest one.
I agree. That's a good one.
So much about life is timing, just in general. And when you're talking about relationships, we don't live in the same world, men and women. Jocelyn touched on it earlier. I'm gonna try to illustrate it. Like, we live in parallel universes. So, like she said, men are at your leisure. And when you had men at your leisure, you didn't really cherish it like that because you believed it was always going to be like that. Then 10 years and 30 pounds later, when you're in your 30s, I mean, let's keep it real.
10 years, 30 pounds later.
When they were at your leisure, you were your early 20s,
oh my
fresh.
God, y'all
looking good.
Daddy bodies, y'all better
look. Hey, listen. What? We are talking right now about women, okay? We're talking about. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to make you understand the universe thing.
So you had daddy bodies.
You had the world at your oyster, and you believed somewhere in the back of you, because no one tells you it's you got a short run. It's okay. So like, if I could give you a comparison, you guys are like athletes. You're like professional athletes.
Women are like athletes.
Yeah, your prime is short. You have to capitalize on your prime. You have to make your money in those years, right? We're more like doctors. Doctors go and get their residency. They do all that stuff. They don't make any money until their early 30s. Now they start caking, right? And they get to make their money for the rest of their lives.
But they be in debt and
but it's gonna work. If you're like, let's say you're a cardiothoracic surgeon, it's gonna work itself out. They have potential to make more money longer, right? So it's not fair to us. This is what I'm talking about timing. That when we reach our prime, when a dude can go from average to way above average because he meets a certain list of criteria for almost every woman that he encounters. Last week, we talked about how many available women there are in the Washington metropolitan area. Once upon a time, the ratio was 8-1. If you have those things, it's 27-1. Now you want him to have his hands full and go to a buffet and tell him to try one plate, which is not what you do at a buffet. You eat, until your heart's content. You take a little bit on each plate, and then you don't even finish the plate. You just get to taste the food in your mouth. You throw the plate away, and you go back and get more.
Mark, is only one way of eating. Why do you have to go to a buffet?
But you have to do that in order to make your choice.
When you can go to a regular restaurant,
you have to make your choice.
And get a single entree.
Options help you make the choice.
You have a menu. Since I'm going along.
Okay, yeah.
You have a menu.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, why the buffet? Why do you have to? What is it, gluttony? Why do you have to have so much when you only need one thing to really truly satisfy yourself and survive?
You're right.
So you can pick from a menu.
It takes us a while.
And get one entree.
It takes guys longer. We touched on that. It's a timing thing.
Is there a particular age?
No, not for anybody. No, it differs for every man. So like if you always like listen, everyone's not built the same. Not everyone always had it easy to get women. Right? So suppose in high school they had a couple little girlfriends.
There's a lot of y'all that was busted in y'all teenage years and y'all 20s, and men come alive. That's why we always say men age like wine. You know, you get better with time. Men tend to get more sexier. I can see
the anger though coming out.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You all get sexier as you get older.
Yeah.
So you get better with time.
Yeah. And you want us to so when we come into that,
that's when we want you.
It's fair.
Well, that's what I want.
Is it fair?
Is it fair? What's fair?
For you to ask me to pledge forever to you now?
Yes.
Why?
Because that's what I want.
See what I'm saying? That's not fair. That's not fair. And because when you had all the men, what you did was you ate for free every night. You went to club. You brought a purse with no money in it. All you had was a compact and some lipstick in it. You could
that's
go
what you
out.
Got your girls for.
You can go out and not spend $1. And you know why I know y'all don't spend any money when y'all go out? Money. Because all y'all buying houses in your 20s and us guys are living at home. Right?
Well, no, I just...
look, okay.
Whatever.
So anyway, like basically it sucks. It sucks. We don't have a biological clock. So when we talk about timing, there's a finance thing. There's a coming of age thing. A man starts to feel better about, starts to know what he is, know his strengths, know his weaknesses. Then you have all these women, and it does affect y'all. It affects the ecosystem of dating. But we're not thinking about that, nor should we really, though, right?
You have to think about it because how else are we prepared? Like, how else do we know when to get married? If we're supposed to be following your lead, if that is what we are here or designed to do,
you are.
Then if you don't know, how the hell am I supposed to know?
I will know. I know. I knew.
You knew. I think it took you some time to know. You already said it in the beginning. You don't know.
But like honestly, man. So like going through all those options, when you have all those options, it helps you find out what you don't want, right? So when you get the girl, and I feel sorry, you talked about it. I feel sorry. I call it the one before the one. I feel sorry for them girls that feel the adverse effects, the visceral pain of being the girlfriend before he met somebody and 2 months later got proposed to.
Miss Nancy Sherrill, she actually made a point. She says, many men build their legacy and reach their prime with inspiration, motivation, and dedication of women.
I believe that absolutely. Okay. I believe that you're not a man until you have that one. Well, I'm not going to say not a man. You don't know what's important as a man until you have that one woman to provide that dedication and inspiration.
So that's the woman you marry, the woman that inspires you.
Right.
Okay,
to be a better man.
So she has to
that's who you should marry. People marrying all types of people nowadays, but that's who you should marry. Because you got to do a lot of things. When you couple up, there'll be a lot of situations, for instance, that's going to test that relationship or test your resolve in life in general. And I think men often do better when they have to live for someone other than themselves. That's my personal opinion.
Miss Sweetsheet says that isn't that true for women as well?
Women aren't motivated by men. Not necessarily.
No, that's not true.
Women are not motivated by men.
Most of us who are still single and don't have children, we are definitely motivated by men.
Listen. Let me tell you something, and I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm going to put this in as practical a way as I could. Mm-hmm. If you were motivated by men, you wouldn't get to your 30s and know so little about men.
It's not that I don't know. That's not.
When I'm talking about you, everything. Okay. All right.
You're right. I got you.
Jesus. We're about to come to a close in a minute anyway. But let me finish this statement. This is where
I'm speaking for all women.
Oh yeah. Okay. Do it. Okay. Do it. Speaking to all women voice though. Don't use Tiana's voice anymore. So listen. This is why I always laugh when women say men are slow and all this. How can we possibly be slow since pre-puberty? We've been watching y'all. We've been observing. Let me tell you this much. I'm gonna do this one time for my Leos out there. The lion in the Serengeti jungle, right? He knows way more about the gazelle than the gazelle know about the lion. The only thing the gazelle knows is it's safe in packs. So you go out the club and you go in packs. But one thing we know is when that girl get drunk and she straggle off, we gonna snatch her ass and hop on her ass and she dead. That's the difference between predator versus prey. If you knew more, you'd have a man.
But all women aren't prey. I've never in my life.
They're all prey.
Situation. All women.
If we're hunting, what are you guys gonna be? What if we're hunting, what are you guys? On that note, we have stumped the great Tiana, and I think this is a great place. This is a great place to end the show. I want to thank everyone who called in, everyone who watched, everyone who participated in the great debate, Facebook Live, and we'll be back next week. And next week, Tiana will have something to say because I know she won't let this rest. I know it. Peace. Good night.
Good night, everybody.